Well, we have stumbled onto something here. This is breaking ground. Usually it's breaking wind with the superstar Mike Morris, but this is his new podcast where you can get the greatest insight. A guy who watched football through his legs. That's how outstanding he was. And he is now here for you. Welcome to Starstruck with the superstar, Mike Morris.
Jim, that's a great introduction. I appreciate that. I did see the NFL upside down in a very peculiar way, and it was a strange thing for me. I've never really gotten over it. But Starstruck is going to bring you the insight that we've had over the years since I played, and some of the stories that I actually stumbled into from time to time, made big mistakes, and ended up doing things that were completely crazy outside of football that we could talk about as well. There will be stories, trust me. So it'll be Starstruck stories, and then there will be a post-career stuff that has just been an ongoing thing, watching these teams, these Viking squads go from one NFC championship game to the next and just shooting ourselves in the foot from time to time. But we want to be on a podcast that is positive and also offers up the perspective of what really is going on. Not making excuses for anyone, but giving you reasons why it happened. No excuses, just reasons for why it happened. Whether it's coaching or playing the game or anything outside of the game that might have to do with the team, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes too. And that'll be fun. That'll be fun to have maybe some teammates in or whatever the case, or I find someone that was there that day who was maybe in the media or a friend of mine or whomever. That will be the kind of guest we'll have on Starstruck. And hopefully you'll be starstruck. So we've got a lot of things we can talk about right off the bat, but I think that Jim, and you know what? I think I'm going to include Ace Hardware for this too.
Really?
I'm going to include Ace Hardware. They're
That's
good people.
astonishing.
I
right out of the gate. Look at you have only been on on this podcast for 90 seconds, 120 seconds,
if that, yeah.
And you already have people lining up to back your endeavor.
Yeah, it's amazing how that happens. Yeah. Well, they know that
I'm starstruck.
Look, that's why I've chosen you. You're the chosen one, is what you are. You're the chosen one to deal with the star and bring the star perspective and being starstruck by that perspective. What? Anyway, I want everyone to know that we're going to take this very seriously, young Jim Rich and I. And we'll be doing this to start off one day a week, and then hopefully we'll kind of tweak it and maybe work into 2, possibly 3, right, Jim?
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
Okay,
yes.
Good.
You found me in a stable, so it was great. I was the chosen one.
Yeah, well, I mean, a manger, I like to say.
Yes.
A manger. You look kind of mangy.
It was between me and that sheep you were looking at. I didn't know which one you were taking.
Well, if I had my druthers, it'd be the sheep, trust me. Anyway, but we won't talk about that right now.
Or Ace Hardware will no longer be here.
I don't think Ace Hardware will want to sponsor that. But yeah, Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks. They're in Zumbrota, Egan, Rosemont, and Farmington. Those are the Policis. The Polici family's been doing this for over 30 years. Get over there if you want some nuts and bolts. If you want shower curtain rings, if you want maybe a snapper snow thrower or a snow blower?
I go with blower.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
That's what
too.
I do.
Okay.
It seems like it blows the snow.
Yeah.
Throwing seems like that's when you're shoveling.
It's a good point.
You know, where
Very
you
good
have
point.
the shovel, you're throwing the snow.
It's a good point.
You're not blowing it with a shovel.
You're right. When you look at it that way. That
and I bet you they have
sense.
shovels.
They have shovels there as well, and gloves and all that stuff. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks. They've got all the paint too. Remember that you got all the paint technology for mixing paints and matching paints, so that you don't have to do all that and go to all the bother of trying to match paints. Just bring over a chip of paint. They'll match it up for you right then and there and mix it for you and get it right every time. Do that and don't wander like a fool through the stores that you try to find the paint on your own, because you'll blow it every time. kind of like snow blowers. You'll blow it every time. So anyway, with that being said, Ace is the place. Get on down there. Tell them the superstar Mike Morris sent you, and you heard it right here on Starstruck podcast. You understand me? The game coming up.
I do. I understand you. Yes.
You do. Okay. The game is coming, and it's intriguing that we have gone now, 10 weeks without playing the Bears yet.
How about this? The Bears have hardly played any division opponents.
I noticed
Last
that.
week was their first one against Green Bay.
It's amazing.
That was their first divisional game of 2024.
I can't believe that. Now we find out what they're kind of really all about. Not that they played poorly against Green Bay.
No,
even though
of course,
it's the
Green
11th
Bay,
straight
of
time.
course, if there's any team that can back out and snag a win
Find a
when
way.
they shouldn't win.
Find a way, right?
Yes, yes.
There's also long snapping and kicking involved in this.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, how about that long snapper?
Yeah.
Did he just get destroyed?
He got blown
How was there
up.
not 15 flags for that? Because in the
can't
old
do
days, that was fine.
That was good to go. You can't do that now, though. I mean,
No.
the kid got lit up.
No, they just went right through
him, and you can't do that. Now they're gonna. It wasn't called because they line up over the
'Cause it's
guards.
the Packers.
and it's the Packers,
it's
and
the
they're
Packers.
gonna and they're gonna do whatever they have to. So they push the guards and then wedge down on the center, and make it look like they've taken off, not trying to do any damage to the long snapper, but having every intention of coming down and slanting both A gaps and blowing up the long snapper and getting the block. And they got it to work, and the officials have got to start getting onto that. That is borderline cheating. I mean, just taking advantage of a rule that should be in play, but it wasn't. And then the kicker, even though the kid had a tough time up front, he got the ball back. They put it down. He kicked the ball. He should have made it. Should have made it, and he didn't. And because it was just a matter of, I'm sure he saw some people in the peripheral vision coming through already because they got there quick. I think two guys could have blocked it. If the first guy had missed, I'm sure the other guy would have. But he got the ball up, and he should have gotten it there. So the pressure of that and letting someone come through, it cost him a game, 20-19. So the Chicago Bears find themselves at 4-6, and facing the 8-2 Vikings. So I don't know. For me, you want to just give it to the Vikings, but you can't do that when you play the Bears. You can't do it when you play the Lions, the Bears, the Packers. It's going to be a close game. I guarantee it.
Soldier Field
Soldier
is one of the more bizarre fields in the National Football League. Correct?
Oh, by far. It's one of the strangest places I've ever played. And it just the simple fact was when I played there, when we played there, Mike Ditka was the coach for predominantly all the years that I played with the Vikings against the Bears. So I played against him 20 times anyway. And when we went to Chicago, the whole thing was to slow the Vikings down. So they grew the grass longer.
There's no standard in the NFL. You could do what you want. You could have a hay field if you wanted.
They had grass that was so long. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it to slow the Vikings down. Now, I want to break that down since you asked the question.
Yes.
And here's the strangest part of it. If you grow grass long enough to slow a team down, what do you think it will do to your team? Slow you down more than you already are, and you're still slower than the Vikings. It doesn't matter. It's relative. They're going to stumble through it as much as you do. They're trying to slow you down. Do you think it's not going to slow your slow players down even more? Of course it is. It doesn't make any sense.
Are you saying Mike Ditka's not the genius that
I'm just
he's
saying.
being made out to be?
He's a lot like me. He's not the sharpest knife on the tree. He's not the brightest bulb in the drawer. Wait, just a minute. Anyway,
It's close.
You know what I
It's
have
close.
to say? You know what I have to say to people like that? I mean, from time to time, you run into people who say, "Maybe I'm not the sharpest knife on the tree." You know what I say to them? Whatever. That's what I say to them. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
It's a universal comeback. I have nothing to say.
Look, it just leaves you stymied.
Right.
He just said that. He just said that.
I have nowhere to go.
I put people in their place.
I can't go anywhere after that.
Well, I mean, you're
All right.
snookered.
So,
But let's talk about the grass for a while.
Yeah.
How about that? What do you think? I mean, am I right or wrong? Am I not on to something there a little bit?
Oh, you're on something.
I'm either on something or on to something. That we know. When I'm right or rarely wrong.
Right.
Right.
Right. You're right. But it seemed to work for them. Even though they were slower, they seemed to play, and strange things happen
Oh, God.
there.
Oh, all
And
kinds of stuff. It was always
just
something.
because of the grass.
Yeah, apparently so. Or whatever they were smoking.
Oh, they're looking
Might have been
for you.
grass as well. Yeah, look at that. You hear the sirens.
The first
found my
episode.
truck. They found my truck.
First
It's
episode,
already
they're
over.
trying to shut you down.
Sorry about Starstruck. It's over. Man, this is gonna be one of those podcasts. You could turn this thing on anytime and get almost anything in the world. We're gonna talk about anything.
Yeah. Well, I want to go more on the grass. Okay, so what was it like snapping the ball? I mean, did it really have that much effect on you guys? Did you walk out there and, we hear the Vikings, and we've seen it in Green Bay where they said they didn't have the right cleats on and they were sliding all over the place and slipping and on that. So what did you wear there?
You packed the
sandals
shoes? Yeah,
because
well-
it was so deep?
Well, yeah, it was sandals, and it was you spat over them. You spat over the sandals. No, you don't. So here's the thing: you always pack whatever you think you're going to wear for that game, for that stadium.
Extra
no matter
socks.
who. Maybe extra socks,
Long
maybe
underwear.
long underwear just in case. Could be a little nippy. I could say something. I won't. It would not be advised to say what I want to say. But anyway, look. What I'm trying to say is, no matter what, you're going to play against any team on any field with a pair of shoes that you think you didn't have to worry about it. Because in your bag, when you got to the stadium to dress,
Right.
Dennis Ryan had 3 more pairs of shoes with 3 more options that you may not have thought of. He would pack a pair of shoes for wet, dry, anywhere in between, worn AstroTurf, worn down like a really tight carpet, like New England's old Foxborough. That was it. The old Philadelphia Stadium. Any of those things that I played, Dennis Ryan always made sure you had the right shoes in case the ones in your bag didn't facilitate. He was so good at that. He would go back and pack everyone's shoes, 2 or 3 pairs a piece, every player. I mean, we didn't have to worry about what shoes we had on because you could change them on the sideline if you didn't have the right shoe right there. All was good. You can't make that stuff up.
No.
I mean, Dennis Ryan's the best. He just got out, last year, right? This season is his first season out, right?
Yeah. I think it was it last year? Is it already year 2 of that? I don't
maybe
know,
so.
But
Guy was so good at what he did. I've never
phenomenal.
seen anybody
and-
work that hard.
And I didn't personally work with him like you did, but every player throughout the decades would always say, "Oh, this guy was unbelievable. Never had a guy like it." So I just learned from you guys how
never seen him like it.
tremendous he was. He was there all the time
All day.
too.
Sleep on that old couch back in the back
Yes.
room. Remember the old equipment room?
Yes.
I mean, it's like the Stone Ages compared to what they're doing now. At least he got to move into the new facility and got to train or got to work out of that building for a while.
I mean, Warren Moon, when he was here, and he'd been all over football, he made us do a segment on Dennis Ryan because he said this guy needs to have some accolades,
Notoriety.
some praise, some light shown on him.
Yeah.
He says, I've never seen a guy like this before.
I haven't either.
And he's a superstar, right?
He absolutely was.
What does he care? But he saw the attention to detail that Dennis gave him that no one else in his CFL days, his college days, his Oiler days paid
That's right.
that much attention to what he needed to excel. And he goes, this is the most important guy in here.
Yeah, it's just amazing. If we didn't have Dennis Ryan, I don't know how we could have played the games. I don't know how we could have done it. I mean, there wasn't a single part of helmet, gear, or anything that he wouldn't have an extra screw, an extra snap, the little thing that you dial into your strap, right? There's 4 of them that snap in. He would have extra ones of those, your type of helmet, your type of strap, and have it. just right there and have it fixed in 5 minutes.
And he knows where it all is.
It knows where it all is. He can put it all in. He can be out of the stadium from a visiting trip, be ready to push everything out to the buses or onto the trucks that follow the buses in an hour. Clockwork. Just whatever anyone's old laundry was, the gear, everything, he had it ready in trunks and packed, waiting for the guys to get on the bus after games.
Wow.
That's amazing. It's amazing. How about, and then you walk in the back room and he's sitting on the floor with a helmet between his legs, and he's putting the Viking horns on the helmets.
Yes. Yeah,
by
I heard
hand.
That. He did them
without measuring side to side. He was putting them on, different size helmet. Horn looks different if you tip it too high or too low. And if both sides have to match perfectly, he could do it. Everyone on the team got brand new decals on the helmet every week. He would pull them off.
It was every week?
Every week. He would clean the helmets, polish them, buff them, put a new set of decals on. Those horns were put on by hand. And
I didn't
never
know
seen anything
every
like it.
Week. Every single week.
Every week.
Peeled them off?
I mean, every week.
Wow.
Every single game. New horn, because when you get hit, sometimes it chips a piece of the decal out.
Right. I could see if one's damaged.
I just wasn't going to have something on
that.
TV that looked like that to start the game. He was not going to allow it to happen.
Man.
How about, and then just to find out how hard that was, he said, go ahead and try one. Put a helmet down, hold it like this, hold the helmet like this, measure from the middle out to the side where you want the tip of it to be, and work down to the front of the horn. No way. I couldn't. I could have sat there all day with one helmet. It wasn't matching up. There's no way the angles were perfectly the same. If you saw a guy running from behind, you could see how the horns would flip up. They'd be perfect every time on his. I don't know how he did it.
Wow.
It's just something I observed when I was playing there. I've never seen someone do something like that. Just as part of his job. I can understand if a graphics design person was brought in to do that kind of stuff and maybe had a template to set on the helmet and to push them through. I don't know, but he was doing it by hand on the ground.
Right.
Unbelievable. So
wow.
No one ever noticed that those you never saw a helmet that looked, well, that's those horns are off. It's wonky. No, it never happened.
And then he drove the beater car too.
Just a beater. Just a complete beater.
Awesome. It was like he actually, at the new TCO,
yeah.
I was there one night leaving, we did some shot or whatever. And there was security standing around this old car.
No.
And he was,
oh my God,
he was putting in a bunch of stuff. And they thought probably, who's this out here collecting Viking paraphernalia? Dennis Ryan.
Oh my God.
And he goes, I'm Dennis Ryan. Oh, geez. Oh, well, we didn't know. We just saw this car on the camera and we saw the guy going in and out, putting stuff in the car.
You got a burglar in the place, and he knows where everything is. Everything. He knows where to get everything. Yeah, he was something else. I've seen him work so sick that I thought we should just do something around here for him, because he's going to stay here until it's all done. And I mean, making the coffee, doing the laundry, hanging it up, knocking all the dirt out of the cleats from practice the night before, getting new cleats in them, all by himself for everybody. And for 40 years?
Yeah.
He had this tool belt that looked like Batman that he wore. It had like all the different little toys on it. Everything, any kind of scissors, any kind of tape, you name it, for practice, just for practice. He's coming out, and I used to run 7-on-7. I was the center, so he'd get a live snap just to work 7-on-7.
Right.
I turned around one time to break out of the huddle and go up to the ball, and I run right over him. He's right behind me, standing there talking to someone, and I just flatten him. All of the stuff falls off that belt. Everything. It's a junkyard in the middle of our field. Because he had that belt on, loaded. I knocked him down. He gets up laughing, that smile. And he's just like, got to watch where I'm going. Got to watch where I'm going. Yeah, you do. You do. He just got run over. But Dennis Ryan.
I bet you he would love Ace Hardware.
Oh, he's the kind of guy that would look for snaps. He would look for, I used to snap also. So I'd be looking for snaps too.
Oh, yeah.
But I find one every morning when I look in the mirror. Okay. Then he would look for all the other stuff. Look, I find a snapper in the mirror.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. I wanted to break that down.
It's good.
It was okay.
Whatever.
I'm writing those jokes right now as we speak.
They
Right now, I'll be here all day long.
like putting the horns on a helmet.
Yeah, just like putting horns on a helmet.
One of these is going to connect.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those shows. Starstruck is. Mm-hmm. And do I have stories for you all? I've got a brand new story from about a month and a half ago. Where you hear the van when I stole the van. I can tell you that story. You remember that, right?
Oh yeah.
I got one from about a month and a half ago. I don't know whether I should tell it now or not.
I don't know. Well, let's give us a quick summation. We totally
got off track a little
digressed.
bit. I don't
that
care.
was
It's
a
an opening
major
show.
discretion.
Big time. Yeah, it was.
From playing in Chicago.
That's where it can go with you and I, though.
Let's take it
when
to-
you do a podcast like this, that's what can happen.
All right. Well, give them a little meat. What's this? What's the key here? Sunday, Bears, Vikings.
Yeah.
Central Division.
The Central, the old Central, right?
Yes.
I like that.
Forget the North.
and
We want the Central Division.
We don't want to take back the North like Game of Thrones. We want to just find the Central again.
Well, we're already in the North. Why do we want to take it back?
Why?
It's cold.
You live in the North,
Right.
and it sucks. So take back. I want them to take back the North.
Yeah, we
and
want
give
the
us the
Central.
South. Yeah, the Central would be old school.
But
People don't remember about that. They always forget that we played Tampa Bay.
I know.
In
How
the
was
Central.
Tampa Bay in the Central?
How do you do that? I used to look at the schedule and see Tampa Bay twice, and I'm like, yeah, they're in our division. Sure thing.
And then you
Tampa-
went there in September, and they came here in December.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Didn't give you the week down there.
Could not
Danny
get down.
did not want you in Florida in December. He
No.
said, no. We're
easy.
switching this.
Yeah, for sure.
We're going there in September when it's hot.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't talk about that. Next question. Shut up. My God. Answer the question. Don't dance. Oh, my God. So, anyway, that's how this show is going to go. The Bears, we're always going to play them close. I understand their backs are against the wall for sure at 4-6 right now. And they want to knock down the flying high Minnesota Vikings at 8-2. That's plenty of incentive to play. They're going to anyway. But I think that if our defense shows up, as they normally do with Caleb Williams, I don't think he's the real deal. I didn't think so draft day.
Really?
I definitely thought he was not the guy. I thought it was the kid that went to the Commanders from LSU. I thought that was the quarterback.
Oh, Daniels?
I thought he was the quarterback of the draft. I did. JJ's fine. It suits me fine. I thought that might be a better match for us than the kid from LSU. I'm sorry, his name?
Daniels.
Yep. He's going to be a good player. Caleb, long ways to go. If his attitude is ever straightened up, it may not. But that's my thought. I think if our defense shows up, it's a game that we can play and be pretty sure of. You can't take anyone for granted, but I think you can be sure that if we come ready to play and we put up the numbers that we put up against Tennessee last week, I think we're in good shape.
The offense still bothers me, though.
Oh, it does. Me too. It does, but it's still, it's vanilla. It's not terrible. It's vanilla.
Right.
Like pudding.
It's just kind of, we got to eat this.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to have to eat this. We're not that bad. We're not that good, but we can, give it to the defense, which is more like caviar,
Yes.
not pudding.
No.
So let that be a lesson to everybody. What do you think? I mean, those are my thoughts. I played against them forever. I know it'll be a close game. It'll be,
Of course it will
7 to 10 points, no more than that.
Of course so. And it will come down to a kick.
Oh, I would almost
Whether
guarantee it.
Romo makes one or
Yeah.
the Bears somehow block one as they crush our
They're going to do
temporary
that.
long snapper.
They're going to do that.
Yeah, because they've watched
They
it
saw
all
it
week
happen
on
against
video.
them.
What
Yeah.
happened to them?
They're going to jam the A gaps and pinch the long snapper out of there and just go block one. Green Bay showed them a perfect example of that. So with that being said, I'm going to save that story.
Okay.
I'll save it till next time. Okay.
All right.
But listen, tune in, everybody.
Yes.
It's the Starstruck podcast, and it's brought to us by Ace Hardware. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks. That's the one. Ace is the place
very
with the helpful hardware folks. I can't say that. Can you say it fast?
Sure. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folk.
Screw off. Blow it out your ass.
Well, that's what I paid for, to talk.
I guess you're right.
That's all I do is talk.
Yeah, but Jesus God, grow up. Let me have the stage, please. I mean, just say it again. Go ahead. Right now.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folk.
Shut up. We're done. I hope everyone comes back next week. We have more of this by a long shot. Okay? Let that be a lesson to you. Starstruck. Tune in next time. Bye.